My best friend demanded I break up with my fiance because she's jealous of me.
Oh, so I guess I'll just marry you now. You called dibs? Sorry, I didn't know that.
What are we doing here? Hey, everyone. I, 21 female, cut contact with one of my closest childhood friends, Mary, 21 female, a few weeks ago. While I feel relieved she's out of my life, most of my family and mutual friends think I overreacted, and now I'm starting to second guess my decision. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Coffee Cat, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime. Send it in. So I'm going to put some rather irrelevant background information. We love useless details on this show. Mary and I practically grew up as sisters. I would say that's important details. We were neighbors, and our parents started arranging play dates for us before we could even walk. From kindergarten to secondary school, we did everything together. If I wasn't at her house, she was at mine. I trusted her completely and never thought of her as anything other than my best friend. Things changed when Mary moved away for university. At first, I missed her, but over time, I noticed how much easier life felt without her constant presence. Is this maybe a toxic friend that we just, had grandfathered in?
Now you're living life on Easy Street.
Ooh, Easy Street.
Yeah.
I love that.
No
street.
Mary.
Yeah. I wasn't being criticized, guilt-tripped, or forced to justify my choices anymore. It became clear how much control she'd had over me. Mary had a way of dominating every aspect of my life. She'd dismiss my hobbies or pressure me to quit them, and if she didn't like one of my friends, I'd have to cut ties. Whoa, you could call me a pushover, but when you grow up with someone like that, it's hard to see the manipulation for what it is. Things really came to a head when I met my now fiance, Dave, 27 male. He's amazing, kind, supportive, and everything I've ever wanted in a partner. We clicked instantly, and he's honestly the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Or so you think.
And I bet Mary hates him for it.
Mary wants him to go to the depths of H-E-double hockey sticks and never return.
It really does feel like this probably started as like a leader versus follower type dynamic. She was always following Mary's lead. And now that she's like, doing her own thing, Mary's like, no, my lackey.
Yes.
You are my Igor.
How can you be my mere sidekick
Yeah.
if you are married to this man
Right,
who gives you real attention and affection? Gotta love it. But, of course, Mary didn't approve. Dakota called it. Don't need a conspiracy theory to predict that one.
Yeah.
She immediately tried to plant seeds of doubt, saying he was too old, he'd cheat, he was just using me. Thankfully, for once, I didn't listen to her, and I'm so glad I didn't. In December, Dave surprised me with a dream vacation, and during the trip, he proposed.
Hey, I propose we get married.
Hey, I say yes.
Yay.
Yes.
And now we're married.
Now we're married.
Uh-oh.
It's beautiful. Don't tell Naima.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's going to be complicated for John. I have a girlfriend Fry.
She's here.
Now you're John. I have a husband Fry.
Oh, no.
Quick, divorce.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. Everything about it was perfect. He planned every little detail, and it was more magical than I ever could have imagined. I was over the moon, and I couldn't wait to share the news with everyone. Everyone including you-know-who. Naturally, I told Mary, expecting at least some excitement, but instead, she downplayed the entire thing. Again, downplayed her engagement to the man she loves. She nitpicked the proposal, saying how she would have done it differently and what could have been better. We need to give you some notes here. It stung, but I brushed it off and reminded her it was my proposal and not hers. A few weeks later, we met in person for the first time in months. That's when things completely fell apart. Out of nowhere, Mary told me, you should break up with Dave.
Proposal. Break up with your fiance so that I can manipulate you.
Ooh, a tempting proposal, sir. And what do I get out of this deal?
Nothing, and you can't say no.
Perfect. Manipulation achieved.
I'm sorry, you do get misery.
Oh, you're That's right. That's a good signing bonus. When I asked her why, her reasoning had nothing to do with me. Instead, she compared him to her boyfriend, Julian, 22 male, saying things like, Dave makes more money than Julian, and Dave can give you everything while I have to work for what I want.
What does that mean?
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh my God. Like the absolute logic disconnect there of like, so you want all your friends to be worse off than you is what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, don't marry your man because my man sucks.
And there really are people out here like that, dude. That's crazy.
It's clear that she wasn't concerned about me. She was just jealous. She couldn't handle the fact that for once, my life seemed better than hers. That was the breaking point for me. I told her to leave my house, and afterward, I sent a long message explaining how hurt and disappointed I was. I told her that her behavior was unacceptable and that I didn't want her to contact me ever again.
Hey, perfectly fine. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, at the very least, I'd be like, well, things were never the same.
Because remember, this is a lifetime of all of this manipulation and downplaying and insulting. So it's like, this is absolutely, it's not just this one incident. It is the straw that broke the camel's back. And like, yeah, they're young, but for your whole life, you feel that. Even at 21, you're like, yo, this is all I've ever known.
Just what a horrific thing to have a best friend who's actually been an op your entire friendship.
Dude.
Or at least the vast majority of it, I would say.
Majority. No, in diaper. She was like, I don't know if you would sip on that bottle because that bottle is better than mine.
Yes.
You should sip on the floor.
Dude, she's literally carried the toddler attitude of like, but your toy's better than mine. I want that one. All the way to 21. Crazy.
Come on. Since then, it feels like she's told everyone in our social circle. Mutual friends, even some family members have reached out saying I was too harsh and should have handled things differently. They said, that's just how Mary is. You've known her your whole life. She's always been in the spotlight and gotten what she's wanted. So then why can't OP have the spotlight for once in her life? Can you answer me that?
Who's defending this girl?
Who are you people?
Who's doing this? You know that's just how she is. Yeah, she's the worst.
Yes. Some even accused me of breaking her heart and told me it was wrong to choose my fiancé over a lifelong friend. Guys, you know what? Hey, thanks for telling me that. You're going to join Mary in no contact land. NC world. All right? That's where you're going.
Who are these people?
Even my own mother said she expected better of me. And that is what's making me question my decision. Did I overreact? Mary has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. Sure, she has her flaws, but we've also shared countless good times and memories. Am I going to throw away years of friendship over this? Should I try and fix things, or is cutting her off the right choice? Since some people in the comments are claiming my story is fake, the classic answer, unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah.
I can't prove it to you, but honestly, what would be the point of making up a story and posting on Reddit? I've never used Reddit before, and I have no idea what karma is. Why would anyone want it? Gotta love it.
Gotta love that one.
But again, that's what a fake person would say. But hey, you know.
No one's gonna be like, to everyone saying that my story was fake, dang it, how'd you know?
You got me. Also, yes, I let AI correct my text, mainly because I was incredibly angry when I wrote it and just kept rambling. English is not my first language either. Combine these two things, and you can probably imagine my original text was all over the place. And for clarification, I don't know exactly what Mary told my friends and family, since most of the messages I received were pretty vague. I also didn't ask my mom what Mary said had happened. I was too angry to have a calm conversation after my mom told me I was being dramatic, which led to me yelling at her. All I know is that Mary admitted to asking me to break up with my fiance, but I don't know if she explained why she wanted me to. Lastly, my parents raised Mary like a second daughter, and she's always incredibly kind in front of them. I guess that's why she didn't believe me. Maybe there's just denial because it's easier for them to handle. I don't know. But I get it. Hearing something bad about someone you like for the first time can make you want to deny it. And we have some relevant comments from people. But first, I have to get the most relevant comment in my heart. And that is from Dakota Payne.
Aw, living in your heart now because I'm your husband.
That's right. Oh, don't. Shh.
I don't think there's any point in trying to talk to Mary. I think you cut this person off to the, if she wasn't going around trying to actively manipulate your friends and family, that would be one thing. But the fact that she did that, the fact that she immediately went and told your friends probably a bunch of lies to make you look bad, because who in their right mind is going to support Mary on this? Like, the only people who are going to support that are people who are being fed misinformation.
Apparently, like almost all of her friends and family and her own mother.
Maybe does the fiance secretly suck and we just don't know? Is the fiance actually even worse than Mary?
That would be such a crazy plot. I will say, to your theory, I'll just say it and you guys will make up your own minds. OP 21, Dave fiance is 27.
Okay.
Other people can,
little gappage there. Little
gappage.
Nothing too obscene.
We're not out of that system that people do to determine or whatever, I think. So, I cannot imagine that Mary is the one that's in the right here. I just can't fathom it.
No, it's very clearly like she literally outright said, like, I don't like your husband. He's better than mine. And but the context of that is he just makes more money. Cut Mary off and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell your side of the story to the people who are hitting you up. And at this point, I think you've already cut Mary off. I don't think you owe her any more conversations or explanations. That's my perspective.
Completely agreed. But we've got some relevant comments. So commenter number 1, not the a-hole. It's really easy for everyone else to tell you to keep putting up with Mary's BS because they aren't the ones putting up with Mary's BS.
Exactly.
They want you to fall back in line so they don't have to deal with hissy for the hissy fit that she's throwing. She wants to steal your peace like she has done your whole life. You are the only person who can protect it. Wow, was that on an OK Fortune? Because that was wisdom. OP replies, my parents basically raised her and view her as their daughter. I guess their main issue with me cutting contact is they won't get to see their second daughter as often anymore, or at least not without getting mad at me. When I was younger, I never saw Mary's behavior as something bad, and I don't know if my parents were aware of her pushing me into certain directions since she's been incredibly kind to them all the time. And I didn't really say, hey, I quit gymnastics because Mary told me to, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, I'll keep my opinions about gymnastics to myself. But yeah, it's like if your friend Mary is like a bad influence on you. Gymnastics get a lot of people hurt. One of my very good friends broke her back doing gymnastics, and it has impacted her life forever. So it's like, is it worth it? I don't know. It's one of the most exploitive sports.
What about CrossFit?
CrossFit's not a sport. It's like an activity.
Dude, Riley might just jump over this table and go all CrossFit.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do? Like,
Time out.
50 body weight pull-ups on me? Like, what do you?
Is weightlifting a sport?
Yes.
Is gymnastics a sport?
Yes.
Okay.
Then
That is
CrossFit is
no.
Is running a sport?
Yes.
All right, cool. So
CrossFit is definitely a sport in that.
CrossFit does all three of those things, and you're telling me it's not a sport?
CrossFit doesn't do gymnastics.
It's a triple
Yes,
sport.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
They do walking handstands. Have you not ever seen a CrossFit Games?
That's not really gymnastics.
That is gymnastics.
It's more like dexterity,
Okay,
which is an element of gymnastics.
Dude. Okay.
Are they doing double backflips? Are they doing vaults? Are they
They're doing muscle
in between?
like
Are they
muscle
doing the
ring-up
parallel
pull-up,
bars?
Muscle pull up.
Are they doing the walking beam?
Yeah.
Are they doing the
sometimes.
rings?
Well, people have broken vital bones in this sport. The structure, the integral structure of this relationship has cracked in half. It is completely broken to smithereens.
Sorry, I don't know how we just got on that, right?
And
Mary sucks, and don't let anyone tell you she doesn't, even if they're like her half pretend parents or whatever. I don't know.
That's right.
Like, you know what you know. Don't let anyone tell you you don't know it now.
Stick with your gut, OP. It's right. It's on the money. It's on the money. but we have an update. Quick sum up because this update is quite long. I visited my parents today and found out that Mary told them that Dave was cheating on me.
Okay, so that would make some sense right there, right?
The lies you said, you literally exactly what Dakota said.
Unless
remember.
Mary knows Dave's cheating because she's doing the bounce chicka down.
Oh, because it's with Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
So OP, like, I thought there was something wrong with Dave, so I went ahead and like pursued to see if he was cheating on you, and he's cheating on you. Oh my god, that's what she did.
Yes, absolute facts. My dad ended up believing me, but my mom is still on the fence and unsure of what to believe. But believe your freaking flesh and blood daughter.
Yeah.
We visited my parents around noon today, talked about everything, and tried to understand what exactly had happened. Turns out Mary really was telling a made-up story while sprinkling some truth in there. You see, apparently she told people, or at least my parents, that Dave was cheating on me with a coworker of his, which is why she told me to break up with him. She said that this affair had been going on for at least 4 months and that she knows about it because she had seen them together at a cafe in a different city a few months ago. Let's assume this would be true. Why didn't she inform me and my parents sooner? A good question.
This is when you start asking her questions, right? See, what cafe? What city?
Yeah.
What time of day?
Yeah. What did you get?
What did she look like?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can you drive us there now? Let's drive there.
How
right
do you
now.
know that it was a cheating thing and he wasn't just like having coffee with somebody?
Yeah.
Did you follow him around?
What's the details?
Oh.
Like, imagine your best friend, back then, boyfriend, is cheating on her and you know about it. Wouldn't you tell her right away?
Exactly, yes.
That's
the
logical.
answer is yes.
That's logic. This is also why I can't understand why my parents, especially my mom, would believe her in the first place. According to her story, I got incredibly mad, got her out of there, and haven't spoken to her since. Now, some of it is true, as you should know from my original post. For one, her telling me to break up with my fiance, as well as me getting her out of my house and cutting contact. However, the whole story about Dave cheating on me is something I've heard about him for the first time today. And plus, it's completely made up. Just to remind you, she told me to break up with him because Dave's a better boyfriend than Julian, her boyfriend. By the way, I also feel sorry for him. I can't imagine how she must push him around.
Yeah, well, thoughts and prayers for Julian.
Dude, thoughts and prayer. Like, if this is how she manipulates her friend, dude, the person who's supposed to be her partner, I don't even want to begin to know. My mom said that she didn't believe Dave was cheating on me, but was disappointed in me for how I handled the situation, especially since I couldn't have known if Mary was telling the truth.
What the hell does that mean? I couldn't. Well, you also couldn't have known if she was telling a lie. What?
Great point. You accepted what she said at face value. Actually, it's yeah.
You just, that was a complete nothing burger of a sentence right there.
Nothing burger.
Just air. There was
Yeah, it wasn't even a fake one. It was just nothing.
Nothing.
non-existent point.
Nothing. She thought that cutting off my best friend for being concerned about me was too harsh and that we should have talked it out. I've also assumed that she's scared to lose longtime friends when I cut contact with Mary, which also turned out to be true. Mary told her mother what had happened, who just so happened to be best friends with my mom. It's just all interwoven and entangled. And according to my dad, Mary's mother is mad at me for treating her daughter badly and accused my mom of not raising me right.
Oh boy.
So the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Mary's mom accused.
Yeah, Mary's
You
mom.
mean the mom who didn't actually raise Mary because Mary was basically raised by OP's mom?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe also shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
I'd be like, my left pinky toe is a better mom than you'll ever be.
What is that?
This one.
What did you do?
What?
Nothing. I'm not saying it. Nothing. Okay, now I have to say it. Riley changed the TLDR to a phone number and said, call Dakota.
No, he didn't.
You're right. He didn't do that.
He didn't do that.
Dang it. He made me say it out loud. Dang it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a conspiracy. Also, I don't know whose phone number that is.
Well, We'll find out, but there's nothing there, so there's nothing to find out. But anyways, after my mom explained what Mary had told her, I went on to tell her what really went down. The jealousy, the manipulation, the lies of it all. Basically, the things that I've said in my original post, plus much more. She didn't believe me at first and said that I was blowing things out of proportion and that Mary had good intentions, but simply didn't know how to communicate them well. I showed her some text messages between Mary and me, told her about past incidences, and my fiance tried to back me up as best as he could since my mom wasn't listening at all and kept defending Mary. Because again, the mom's probably like still in like, are you a cheater? Are you not? So,
it's weird not to believe your own daughter, dude.
Right?
So weird.
So crazy. To say I dug deep and told my parents about all sort of things is an understatement. We even went as far to tell them about a spicy sleep incident. So yeah, I'd leave out any details.
Nice. Way to be thorough.
I got full details, boy.
I got the deets.
Yup.
On
Put
these
the D in those details.
Dang, that rhymed. I can't say it. I could say it. The deets on them nuts. I was gonna say teats.
Oh.
Dang it.
Got him.
It's more of like a farm animal kind of description.
But my dad believed me from the get-go. But my mom kept going back to how great of a person Mary is and how she just wants the best for me. She also kept saying how I've never had an issue with Mary in the past. Not true. And that I'm now creating unnecessary drama because of a misunderstanding. Maybe I'm creating unnecessary drama. Maybe not. In my opinion, it is necessary, though. I've let her do whatever she wanted for way too long. At some point, my dad simply told her to shut up and stop making excuses for Mary. Daddy, the first person to speak a lick of logic in this whole thing. That wasn't like OP or her fiance.
Yeah.
Come on. That wasn't like directly involved. So I at least have one parent on my side. My dad's always been a very non-confrontational person and never really stood his ground, especially when it came to my mom. But I found out that he thought that Mary didn't have a good influence on me growing up. See, Daddy knew. Daddy understood. He peeped that. He apparently also told my mom that he wanted to limit the contact between Mary and me when we were younger, but my mom didn't see the point and let the friendship continue. Ooh. I'm trying, guys. Hold on. Let me get some sips of this amazing matcha made by Sophia. That was so great.
Yeah, this girl's exhausting, dude. I don't know why. She's got the wool pulled over your mom's eyes, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your papa.
Listen to your papa.
Yeah,
Listen
dude.
to your papa.
I completely agree.
Why? What kind of sick game? Why can't you just sit down and watch like freaking Love is Blind on Netflix? Why can't you watch Love Island? Why can't you just do that instead of like actually making it happen?
No, she has to destroy lives. She's the CEO of that. Chief Executive Officer.
The destroyer.
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 The booty destroyer. Shout out to a clip coming out about Riley.
Oh.
What is
What is that coming out?
You don't get to know that.
Wait till you see it, Dakota. It's good
Oh,
stuff.
I saw it in real time.
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
Where were you?
Where were you the day that the butt destroyer landed his cheeks on this planet? Anyways, so basically, this whole issue could have been avoided if my mom would have put her friendship with Mary's mother aside for her own family. Great. In the end, my mom said that she'd speak to Mary and ask her if what I've said is true, which honestly pissed me off. After everything I've told her, she still wants to crawl back to Mary because apparently what her actual daughter says isn't enough. She tried to justify it since Mary is her daughter too, and it's unfair to just hear one side of the story. All right. But you already had a heartfelt confession with Mary in which she was lying to you completely. After she said all of that started a screaming match. I know, not healthy, but it honestly felt so dang good to just let it all out.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes
you gotta release.
It's you can't bottle and unfreaking load.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, I'll let that one. Slide.
Unload.
Slipped past me.
To say that I cried heavily out of frustration after talking to my mom is an understatement. The story is full of understatements. And I'm so glad that my fiance was with me because I sure as heck wouldn't have been able to drive home safely. But on a good note, I got ice cream and we watched my favorite show when we arrived back home, which made things better. Lol. I have not told my mom that I'm considering not inviting her to my wedding. All right, wait.
I mean, yeah.
I think not inviting the mom.
Yeah, because if you think that if I tell you my fiance, my husband's not cheating on me, and then you're like, yeah, but is he though? I'd be like, all right, that's weird. Why are you believing this low down, dirty scoundrel's words about my husband? She literally told me she's jealous of my husband.
Come on.
Why would she be? She'd be jealous. She's jealous of the guy cheating on me
with her loser
Use
boyfriend,
your brains.
who's a lemur. You know, thinks he's all
King
that.
Julian. He's a king though. He's a king.
But he's too braggadocious with it. You know,
I doubt it. She's probably got that really stifled.
Ooh, you're right.
He is
put
just a smoldering little ember of his previous lemur glory.
That's right. That is absolutely true. Now, we're not planning to get married until next year anyway, so there's still enough time for her to make up her mind about who she'd rather believe. Plus, I don't want to create too big of a rift between me and her. As for mutual friends who took Mary's side, I've decided not to respond to them. I'm not sure if Mary told them the same story that she told my parents, but I honestly don't care. I don't want to see Mary ever again, or at least not in the foreseeable future, and mutual friends would make that a whole lot harder than it needs to be. Besides, they're not my only friends or close friends of mine. Dave's also okay with me not running after them to clear his name. If this whole situation should leave this friend group and turn public, I'm going to contact them. But right now, we don't see any point in dealing with Mary's minions. That's something someone called these friends in the comments below my original post, and I loved it.
Mary's minions munching mung beans.
There we go.
Sabadubadap.
Mary's minions munching mung beans.
Mignoy?
Oh.
Right now, I'm just hoping that Mary messes up her story somehow and that my mom is going to see her for who she really is. While she's been acting absolutely disgusting towards me and basically chooses Mary over me in this situation, I'm trying. I think I can look past it. It's my mom after all. Cutting off friends is one thing, but cutting off close family, well, that's a whole different story, and I'll try to mend things the best I can. If she's going to stay loyal to Mary, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's not something I have to think about right now. Once again, thank you for your positive and helpful comments. I've read all of them, but they keep coming in a rapid speed, and I really don't know how to respond to most. Also, for those who went through something similar, I am so sorry that this happened to you, and I'm incredibly glad, as far as the comments go, that all of you could find peace in your decisions to cut off toxic friends out of your life. And we have a second update. But first question for you, Sir Dakota, and everyone in chat, by the way, please share your thoughts on this below. Do you think OP made the right moves?
Yes!
Cutting off Mary, everything.
Yes!
Yeah.
I wish I could. Sometimes we have friends for a long time, and then one day you realize, like, oh, this person's never actually been good for me. I've had that before. And it doesn't necessarily even make that person like a irredeemable monster or anything, right? It's like Mary is just you know. Mary needs to sort out her own stuff and figure out what makes her the way that she is. But first she needs to be able to look in the mirror and be like, oh, I am so jealous and bitter. Why is that? But yeah, no, you've made, you're not responsible for following her on that journey. And now that you've seen the light, it's time for you to,
Almost close, but no cigar. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that in this case, there's many cases where there's a friend that like the alignment just isn't there anymore, and you just kind of like politely, for lack of a better word, you go on your better ways, wish each other luck into the sunset. This is a case where the person is absolutely a freaking monster. So most definitely cut her off. I will say on the mom, and curious on your take, I don't know if in my mind it'd be like, okay, boom, I am as of now banishing you from the wedding, at least in my mind. I would maybe put her in purgatory. In the in she's in court, to
the moon, so to speak.
To the moon, yes, to the moon, so to speak, to see her behavior over this next year, to see if she can come back around, because maybe it's just been so long with her view of this, and it's like you see this person as a kid, you see them grow up, and they present this thing to you, so maybe it's just so hard for her to believe. I don't know, everything changed. But then on the other hand, OP is her literal flesh and blood daughter. So
maybe she also just didn't like the boyfriend from the beginning. But it's got to be a thing. OP talked about how Mary would act one way around to others, right? So she's masking.
Yes.
And that can be really hard to get people to see, It's like people who have like, they'll like tell you like a horror story about their parents, and then you'll be like, but they're so great. And it's like, yeah, it's because you're at my house.
Yes. You're seeing the best of them.
Right. So it's the same thing with like Mary, where it's like, yeah, I know she seems great, but it's like, she's going around spreading lies about my fiance because she's literally like mad that he makes more money than her husband, which is insane to do as a best friend. As an enemy, that is that's behavior of an enemy.
Yes. Yes.
Not a friend.
Not friendship behavior at all. But we have a second update.
Whoosh, let's go.
I just want to say this in advance. I don't know if my dad was telling the full truth.
Oh?
Oh.
Well, oh. Okay.
I do believe him. But he might have exaggerated or left things out. It's entirely possible that he lied to a certain extent. I personally don't think that. But then again, most of the things he told me yesterday, I've heard about for the first time, and they make me seem incredibly innocent. Maybe he was lying. I don't know. This whole situation just makes me question who I can trust in general. So we had dinner with my dad last night, and it went pretty well overall. We mainly talked about my mom and Mary. Apparently, my mom had always been concerned about what others thought about her, but when she met Mary's mother, it reached a whole new level. Mary's mother often criticized my mom for all sorts of things. Dude, it's crazy.
No
I feel like I've heard something like that before.
Hey, do you know what they say about apples?
Oh, what's that?
That they don't fall too far from the tree.
So they go from the tree, but they're not too far.
Two apples from the same tree. They land in the same place. Just
in the
about.
Same spot.
So these two apples are appling. But they're unappealing. It's true.
Michael Scott. Yeah. She was criticizing all sort of things about her parenting style, her clothes, her house, you freaking name it. Whenever it was something that my mom could change, she changed it immediately to appease Mary's mother. Don't like that. That's also why I was put into dance classes when I was younger, because Mary's mother signed up Mary for dance classes, one of many examples. So yeah, as most comments suggested, she was being pushed around by Mary's mom. Is she a narcissist? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. One thing to know about Mary's family is that they do a dang good job of appearing perfect, quote unquote. Happy family, nice jobs, nice house, etc., etc. I guess my mom bought their persona and tried to copy it. I'm not going to trash talk the whole family here, but let's just say that they have just as many flaws as any other family. We've seen it. We've seen it before.
Let's be honest, guys. There's nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Body's perfect.
I didn't know for a split second what you're saying, and then I fully understood what you were saying.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, man. So let's just live our lives and not try to convince our best friends to break up with the love of their lives because we're jealous for the stupidest reasons ever.
Can you imagine being married? That's gotta be so exhausting,
bro. Like, the joy that we get in being happy for our friends and like whatever good stuff is going on in their life. Like, could you imagine trading that joy for this?
For Julian.
For Julian? Julian! Julian!
I wish I could do the Julian voice. I feel like I'll get in trouble.
Dude, no?
The King Julian voice?
It's too loud? Or it's too...
I don't know. It's
once
too...
you let it out, it's...
I think I'm too pale. I don't know.
Because he's from Madagascar.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. At least you can take solace in that. Probably sucks worse to be Mary. But she probably doesn't even know it. That's just how she is.
She thinks she's the greatest, but, you know, she said. Loki.
She said.
Also, my mom was apparently talking crap about me to my dad, comparing me to Mary in basically every way, and she even said multiple times that she wished Mary was her real daughter.
Dude, all right. Hey, guess what, Mom? Now you're definitely not going to the wedding.
Yeah, I was about to say, remember that purgatory, the moon, the courtroom proverbial thing we were talking about? Yeah, you have fully been sent to the sun. You are not going to the wedding.
Yeah,
bye, Mommy.
You can go to Mary's wedding. She marries
right.
King Julian. Sad King Julian.
Sad King Julian.
King Julian without his crown. Oh, people are telling me to do it. I'm still not going to do it. King.
I don't know what Riley's doing, but yeah.
Riley's cooking up over there. Riley's cooking.
He's not doing anything.
Riley's cooking something.
So she believes that I took away her chance to live her dream life. What fun fact, but according to my dad, my mom's apparently huge on family. She's always wanted at least 4 children. Ironic, I know. She had a pretty traumatic birth experience with me, and doctors told her that she should not try for children again. And yeah, apparently she's blaming me for that too.
Sorry, Mom, that you... No, that might be rude. That might be rude. I'm actually going to pull that one back.
There we go. I
say,
got you.
That's me reeling it back in,
We're back.
folks.
We're bringing it back, baby.
Yeah, but she should get 14. Number 14.
Number 14.
Wapow. Telling your own daughter that, like, she ruined your life and she wishes that she wasn't your daughter. Yeah, you're... Bye-bye.
Disgusting. A bit of a TMA right here, but I've mentioned in the comments a few times already, so whenever, I can't get pregnant, like, at all, which means she, luckily, won't get any grandchildren from me. I guess she sticks so close to Mary and Mary's mother because she hopes to be a grandma to Mary's potential children. Ugh. That's honestly so creepy and messed up in my opinion, but, well, we're talking about my mom here.
Why don't you just adopt her? Huh? Why don't you adopt her? Huh?
If you love her so much, why don't you marry her? You could. You could.
Yeah, her name's Mary. Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Mary's Mary marriage. It's like that water buffalo sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor
one.
Julian still.
Poor Julian. Bro, he's still poor and has a terrible girlfriend.
Let me get some fists in the chat for Julian.
Stay strong, brother.
Stay strong, Julian.
We're here for you. So I also feel the need to clarify that I didn't know any of that. My mom never said anything negative about me to my face. Sure, there were some comparisons here and there, but nothing major or something that had an impact on me. It had always just been general stuff that parents tend to do, comparing grades, behavior, skills, etc. Which I'm sorry, but low key, I don't even know that that's normal parenting.
Sounds abnormal.
I mean, maybe it's like, why did Tommy get an A in math and you got an F? I guess there's that.
I mean, but that's less. It's less
about the person and more about proving the point.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I feel like that can be sometimes
like a parenting thing.
Yeah,
the grades.
I can say it on TV.
I guess. Yeah.
Maybe not real life.
It's like the stability of the home lends to the success in the classroom.
Something like that. But she's also never directly blamed me for her inability to have any more children and never said anything bad about me not being able to conceive. This is all just stuff she's apparently said behind my back. She's most definitely was not the best mom ever, but she wasn't horrible either. Just a person who, in my opinion, shouldn't have had a child in the first place. Man, and you know what? That's a very objective, it's like, hey, this is a human who just shouldn't have had a child.
I think you have the most important or the most relevant perspective on that, seeing as you're her daughter. You're like,
this is true.
Given my experience, really feel like this lady shouldn't have had kids.
AKA me.
And how's she going to be like, you've ruined my life. You prevented me from having children, which first of all, it was an issue with you. And second of all, have you heard of this thing called adoption?
What? Adoption?
No.
Adoption? Adoption?
Yeah, adoption.
I got one of those.
Yeah, you're complimenting my legs?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's, your mom is not right.
That's stupid. So my dad admitted that he'd considered divorcing her a few times, but never went through with it because he was scared that my mom would get primary custody. He's currently considering it again. So let's see how that goes. Ooh, potential update. As for why he never stood up to my mom, he genuinely didn't have a reason for it. He knew that my mom's never said anything like the things above to my face, so he didn't think that that he should to me, at least not until I moved out.
Wait, so he knew that that's how the mom felt?
Yes.
Oh my God, how do you not? Oh, now I'm like, oh. I mean, he did it because he was like, that's such an impossibly hard thing to tell your daughter, but it's like, you need to have that as a discussion with your wife and be like, hey, look, we need to talk because I can't be hearing this come out of my wife's mouth. I love my daughter.
Yes.
And you are making me kind of hate you, I would assume.
Yeah, he considered divorce multiple times and is now like actively being like, yo, should I just get divorced now?
Should have done that probably earlier.
Yeah, I mean, he was worried about primary custody, which I totally understand. But also, is there a world, and this is just to get the thought out, this is also maybe bad because it's like, let's say hypothetically they split and then he's like, hey, I wanted to sit down and be honest and share with you some of the things child appropriate, maybe in a way that's like won't hurt her as much as possible, why I broke up. But then also that can look bad as like trying to make the mom look bad. And so that's a tough one. If anything, get divorced just for you because you will not be your happiest, best self to be there and present for your kid if you're literally like living with the person that you're just like, ugh, I want to be married to this woman. It's a tough one. He didn't engage in these types of conversations with my mom and kept telling her to stop every time, which caused a lot of fighting between them. I knew that their marriage was messed up, but I always thought this had different reasons. Also, my mom reached out to my mother-in-law and complained about Dave, how he changed me and stuff, referring to me cutting off Mary and choosing my fiance over my best friend. My mother-in-law, who's an absolute angel, by the way, simply asked her why she's discussing this with her since Dave and I are adults. And there's no need to contact her for it.
Yeah, dude.
W mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law's like, hi, are you confused? These are not children. They're adults.
I mean, OP and best friend are 21. Not to say that's not adult, but also to say that, college age.
I mean, they're young. They're not children.
But they're not babies.
But like, you also can't just be like, I'm telling your mom.
Yes. Yeah. That is literally zero excuse. I'm sorry. In all these stories, even with the terrible teenagers, I'm like, I never knew anyone that was this demented or this whatever.
Yeah.
In the most extreme cases. Anyways, my mom also told her that Mary said that Dave is cheating on me. She then simply told my mom, sounds like Mary's projecting, and hung up. Fire. I'm honestly so pissed that my mom tried to involve her in the situation, and I can't help but wonder if she tried to create conflict between my mother-in-law and my fiance. Maybe she genuinely believes Mary and wanted to warn my mother-in-law, but I guess that would be wishful thinking. For some background, my mother-in-law was a single mom because her ex-boyfriend, Dave's father, cheated on her shortly after giving birth. As you might be able to imagine, she hates cheaters with a burning passion, and my mom obviously knew that. So yeah, I guess my mom talked to Mary, who doubled down, and my mom decided to believe her. I was expecting that this would happen, but honestly, I'm really disappointed. I'm not even sad, angry, or anything, just absolutely disappointed and confused. I am currently considering sending her one single last text before cutting her off for now, but I don't know if I should give her the pleasure of receiving an explanation.
I think you should probably not even like do a text. I think you should like write a letter or something. Like, I don't know. Something that I feel like a text isn't as cathartic. If you're gonna like not have a direct conversation, I feel like the letter will be more effective for you to be able to let go.
There definitely is something about the letter that is like, there's more emotional intention.
It's more personal.
It's more personal. Yeah, it kind of has that factor about it. That I like.
Holds a little more weight.
And you can send that to her while having her completely blocked on your phone.
Yes.
We love that. I'm still on the fence about cutting ties with her in general, mainly for my dad's sake. Their marriage is rocky already, and although he's considering divorcing her, I'm not sure if he'll actually go through with it. Keeping in contact with one parent while not talking to the other one must put a whole lot of stress on the parents you're still in touch with. And I honestly don't want to worsen my dad's life at home any further. It's just so crazy how I've lost so many people who I considered important to me in such a short amount of time. The whole situation also made me question other people, like my dad. A whole lot. And there were so many people in my life throughout all of the years, and nobody said anything. Why didn't my grandparents step in, or my aunt, or family friends? I can't imagine that they didn't know about any of it, but then again, I didn't either. You were also a child, so I'll give you a little bit of a break.
Catch a break there.
Catch a break.
Yeah.
I also have no idea why I never noticed that my mom held some sort of resentment towards me. Shouldn't I have noticed? I mean, I've been living with her under one roof for 18 years, yet I never noticed / imagined that she actually doesn't like me. Also, yes, Reddit has become my new diary. LOL. And we got some relevant comments.
Lean on your husband. Lean on your husband and your good mother-in-law in this time of chaos and strife within your own family. Like, clearly.
Build a new circle of people who are, you know what? I bet Dave's mutuals, maybe mom knows, I know there's the age difference, but like, I don't know, go close, build a circle like in the.
This is, just a huge, hot, flaming mess. And now it's like the dad is being called into question because it's like, okay, dad, you knew that mom hated me my whole life and you never said anything? That's going to make me raise an eyebrow too. Once the truth comes out, I'm going to be like,
yeah.
You were not thinking of me, you were thinking of yourself. I'm going to say that. That's my take. You didn't want to have the hard, because that's a hard conversation, but she deserves to know, hey, your dynamic with your mom's going to be funny because she has all of this unresolved stuff that's causing her to feel these negative things about you. And make it clear, this is not your fault.
Yes.
Your mother has her own issues.
Yep.
These are outside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to let you know this because it's undoubtedly going to affect you, like how it is right now in this story.
Also, age appropriate, like could throughout the journey, was there maybe a way of telling her in an age appropriate way? Or we do the same thing that we do when you're a third party catching someone cheating, which is you tell her or I will.
True.
Right?
But I don't think it's hard to compare those contexts. It's not really the same. I think in my head it's like you try to work through that issue together as like husband and wife or as whatever, as partners. You try to work through this, and if she cannot overcome these thoughts or has no desire to, or then I think it's like, all right, well, I can't logically still be with someone who hates my daughter. Yeah,
and the chances of her going from, oh yeah, I hate my daughter. I wish it was this other chick, Mary, to, you know what? I said that about you and I was wrong. And,
Yeah, good luck convincing me of that after Mary was kept around like a second daughter my whole upbringing.
Ooh.
That's the crazy part is it's like, not only is she's like, hey, I wish Mary was my daughter, but it's like, yo, she was low-key. She was. You raised her like one. It's just gross. It's horrific.
We can logically say that that's just freaking messed up.
Yes, it's not good.
Messed up.
Very bad.
But we have some relevant comments. Comment number 1, yikes, sounds like the real issue is your mom trauma dumping to anyone that will listen, interjecting herself into areas of your life she has no right to be in, and blaming you for decisions only she can make. It's good to hold doubts if you've only heard one side of the story. Have you confronted Mary about these allegations? I don't know if I'm just half asleep or it's not written in the description, but sounds like everything about your mom and Mary may have been delayed by your dad. Verify your intel. Don't just take his word for it. Can you ask your mother-in-law if she had a call from your mother? Have you spoken to Dave? OP responds. I didn't talk to Mary to confirm it. However, my mom was the one who brought up that Mary told her that Dave was cheating. My mother-in-law called us and said that my mom called her. And yes, I've talked to Dave. He knows everything that's going on. And there's an update number 3.
Un poco update.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Oh, we?
Small update.
A small update.
Small update.
Yeah, we're getting to the close to the end of the saga. Do we go no contact on mom right now?
Yes.
Or no?
No contact, I think. I don't know. I just can't personally. I can't. I don't think hearing the sentence, I wish this other person was my daughter, who's like also not just like another person, like a person who's actively like at this point been revealed to be my enemy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'll do you the favor and I'll make it so that you don't ever have to have me in your life anymore.
Not to, it's still horrendous either way you slice or dice it, but I believe the quote of, I sometimes wish Mary was my daughter was from when they were like growing up as kids. And she didn't say that recently, but still saying that about your freaking child, especially a younger child.
Yeah, I was about to say that actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then like probably like having the epiphany, like that hits you when you're like, bing, like you're like 20, 21, and you're like, oh my God, my mom said that she wished I wasn't her daughter?
And that is exactly what Opie's having.
Whoa. And she wishes it was the other girl who's like actively trying to ruin my life by getting me to split with my fiance and lie to me and tell me he's cheating on me?
I'm the daughter with a friend, but you want my friend as your daughter? Mom? No. But we're going to get into update number 3. Do we predict?
Oh, I predict.
I'm trying to see what we...
I predict. I predict.
Hit me with it.
Mom and dad, gone.
Kaputs. I
done.
agree. Yes.
The more I think about it, the more I'm upset at the dad, too.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, I can't imagine it.
He might have. I think it was just the start of his conversations. It's possible that he did defend her more than of what we've read so far, but if it seems like he basically didn't defend her that much. And generally, OP was like, he never really stood up for himself. That leads me to believe he didn't stand up to her. But let's see. Maybe we're wrong. Update number 3. This is just going to be a small update since not much has happened, but I still want to share this because I think it's quite ironic. It's also pretty late and I'm staying at a hotel right now, so sorry if some stuff doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I just had a gig tonight with Mary's ex-boyfriend.
Yes!
Ex-boyfriend Julian.
Yes! Julian, yes!
Who showed up after the show. Yes, ex-boyfriend. He came up to me and told me that he broke up with her this morning. He then got free drinks for the rest of the night, and we had an amazing time at the after party. Lol. I've already mentioned this in the comments, but I've told mutual friends who asked, not those who attacked me, what really went down between Mary and me. I guess they've told other mutual friends and it got around to Julian. He asked me if her story is true, and Mary apparently got really defensive. And after some back and forth, she called him an option that she's keeping around until Dave's single or she finds someone better.
Knew it.
Is this person like, does her brain not connect properly to her mouth and stuff? Like,
It's broken.
She's like, yeah, I want you to break up with your boyfriend because he's better than mine.
and then you tell your boyfriend,
Nah, I'm just keeping you around until Dave's available.
be like, okay, bye.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Dude, I stopped seeing a girl because she said, I think I'll keep you around. Like I was like a little trinket. And that's when I was like, oh, that's what you think? Okay, goodbye. Like, say that full with your chest.
With your chest.
Oh, yeah, I'm just
with
keeping
the mommy
you around
milkers.
for now until Dave's available.
Mhm.
And then what did you expect?
And then I'll slide on in. It's all my milky goodness.
Did you say that with the milkers?
Who said that?
That's
Who said that?
amazing.
Say it with your milkers.
Say it with your milkers.
Come on. Squeeze the truth out of those bad boys. Come on now. So he dumped her right there and then. Whoo! Mary must have spiraled after that because she texted me over a new Instagram account that I've ruined her life.
Oh, yeah. What, did she possess you and say that to your boyfriend?
Right. Dude.
You idiot.
I don't believe in karma, but this honestly made my day. By the way, if you want to have your day made every single day, what can they do, Dakota?
All you have to do is go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts or any podcast platform that you use
And search OK Storytime.
and then you'll find full episodes with stories like this one.
Mhm.
2,000 episodes. 8 trillion hours.
Verified. It's a true number.
So yeah, okay, you listen to your heart's content. Even if we're not live at the moment, you know?
It'll be there. But Dakota, we are close to the end of the saga here. Oh, we are close to the end of the saga here. And I think I'm feeling good about the path that we're on. We are basically by default cutting out all of the people from our life that we need to be, aka everyone who's on Mary's side, including, of course, Mary.
Yes.
We are learning the truth about mom. We are even learning the truth about dad, getting in, you know, with a clearer picture, we will see how involved we want to be with them. You know, mom, maybe nothing. And then dad, maybe something.
I think dad can go to the moon.
Dad can go to the moon.
Realize, like, was I being a weak man? Was I being a coward?
Yeah, maybe say like OP, like, hey, you know, I'm hurt that you didn't defend me more, and you know, I want to have someone in my corner, like clearly mom isn't, so but could you, you know, maybe put in an effort and give me that that promise that
I just see like the two different like sides of the coin of his decisions, which is like you do what he did, which ends up here, right? And now Mary's in like her early 20s being like, oh, my mom doesn't even like me. Oh, my
it'll
mom
all come out eventually.
My mom like actively prefers this other person who is also my enemy now, clearly, instead of me. Cool. And has openly been like, I wish that she wasn't my daughter, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, as the dad and a husband, it's like, I think that's the moment where you're like, I can't do this, and if you don't want your daughter, I'm gonna go find a woman who does appreciate her, and I'm not gonna have her raised in an environment where she's gonna not have I would rather her not have a mother who nothings her, rather than have her be around this mom who like secretly feels like she wish she didn't have her.
Absolutely. If he had divorced, what he would have been able to control, at least more than is what happened, is having Mary and Mary's mom involved and spreading their toxicity for years. Like Opie said, this wasn't the first time. This has been happening her whole life ever since she's known Mary. So you would have saved your daughter all of that heartache.
Yep.
By making some moves. Now, is it hard, when let's say the kids are like 11 years old, right? It's hard to take you away from the best friend and, everything else. But hey, you could cut out Mary's mom. She's a negative influence. You could maybe redirect and be like, hey, let me get you back in gymnastics that you like. And let me, introduce you to other friends than Mary. And then maybe OP would naturally gravitate towards that without having to you're taking my best friend away.
I don't know.
Something.
I just feel like maybe he was a little absent. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Because it's where's the parents having any conversations when she's like, I'm quitting gymnastics. There's no conversation about that. There's no getting to the truth of that.
Yes.
They are not aware that it's just Mary telling her to quit.
So true. I bet if they had sat her down, they would know.
Yeah.
Great points, Dakota. Great points. But let's get into this final part of the saga. Also, I have called my grandparents, and they didn't know how my mom really felt about me, which honestly puts my mind at ease a bit. At least I wasn't the only one being oblivious. I guess she did a really good job at hiding her true sentiments. For my parents, I've decided to go low contact, with my mom and keep in touch with my dad. He's not going to divorce her anytime soon for several reasons. I'm also still on the fence on whether or not to cut ties with my mom completely or not. While many people in the comments mentioned that they're not in contact with their families anymore, I don't feel ready, quote unquote, for that just yet. I wanted to have a conversation with my mom first, just so I can hear what I've been told by my dad straight from her.
I do want to say really quick, because that was a good point, where it's a lot of people in the comments are like, I don't have any contact with my family, but it's you can't. Sure, it's that gives you the validation of oh, there are other people who have experiences similar to this or have had to make decisions similar to this, but it's you can't let the fact that other people have done it determine what path you take. It's your situation is completely relative to you, not these people who are on the internet telling you, oh, I cut off my parents, you could do that too. It's I mean, they're not wrong, but it's you shouldn't just don't just listen to people on the internet for no reason.
And as cliche as it is, every situation is different, and look at your situation. And you know what? I think, especially being 21 years old, I think OP has a really good head on her shoulders, and is really thinking about this in a really good way. Right now, I don't want to have that conversation. Yeah, I'm basically keeping her around for now. And some comments. Commenter number 1 says, glad karma has struck Mary. She destroyed your life, not you. Also, I'm glad that
she destroyed her life, because she was the one being you've ruined my life. Now King Julian is going back to Madagascar.
That is true. Glad that karma has struck Mary. She destroyed her life, not you. Also, I'm glad that now you have confirmation that she's after your beloved, not for love, but for money.
Here comes the money.
About your mother. That may be a bitter pill to swallow, but she may prefer Mary and her family instead of you. I hope I'm wrong in this last part, but toughen your little heart. Wishing you the best and take care. To which OP replies, I think that my mom's more interested in Mary and her family than her own family.
Dang.
Yep. But honestly, I'm still a bit hopeful. Commenter number 2, Mary is dumb as a doorknob.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Doornail.
Ooh.
Which don't exist. Shakespeare made that up. Dumb as a doornail.
Oh.
Nobody knows what that means. As far as I know. I could be wrong.
I guess
I'm not right about everything.
Just go, but. How obtuse and self-centered can you be to say that to say that to the boyfriend out loud, even if you do think about it, and not expect a breakup? She ruined her own life because you have the audacity to be manipulated by her anymore. Again, she said to her boyfriend, I'm just staying with you until either OP's fiancé or just someone better comes along. Why would you not break up with someone who says that?
Were you completely inebriated? What got you to say that? Are you just so like narcissistic that you didn't think that he'd break up with you when you said that?
La La Land.
Do you think what he'd
Living in
try
La La Land.
harder?
Come on. OP replies to this saying, I don't understand why she stayed with him in the first place. I mean, being with someone you don't actually want to be with makes not only a relationship miserable, but also yourself. A great point. Commenter number 3 says, I think that Mary wants her life, not just finance. Maybe her mom was controlling and mean to her as well. She just saw your mom treating you better and became jealous of you, and it spiraled. OP said that could be possible. Her mother used to push her into certain directions a lot, forcing her into doing things that her mother loved as a child/teenager. But it never seemed like she didn't enjoy these things as well. I don't know for sure, though. And that's what I got.
It's through the chain.
It's through the chain.
Genetic, what is it? Generational trauma.
Passing down in the ways we don't want it to pass down.
Yep.
Riley, what do you think on minutes? We're good?
Yeah.
Looking good?
It's 27. I think that's a good one.
27. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not only the end of this story, but our entire members only stream.
Until we read these.
So we'll do a sign off and then another sign off. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.